Hello, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Pokemon Thunder Yellow. Now, this is another ROM hack in the similar sense of Pokemon Proud Eyes, in the sense that we've got mixed up Pokemon locations, we've got mixed up levels, we've got more advanced gym leader difficulty, I hope, and stuff like that. So it should be pretty similar. Essentially, I wanted to obviously complete the set. I've done blue, I did a hack of red, and I wanted to do a hack of yellow, or yellow itself, but I figured a hack would be nicer. I don't know, I doubt many of you guys have actually seen this version, so hopefully it will work. The other thing is that this is going to be a flying type monotype. So, I did not mean for that, I didn't know that happened. So we're going to start a new game, and obviously none of this has changed. Obviously we see Pikachu at the start. My new name in this game is going to be in similar vein to my previous monotype, Heroga. This is my grandson, he's been Heroga since we were a baby. What are we going to call him? Bad? Yeah, I'm sure we just call him Bad. Sort of thing. What would... I mean, actually... You know, if you think, what's the bane of flying types? Either lightning or rock slide. So, let's use inspiration from my previous playthrough of Pokemon Brown. His name is Sparky. Okay. So, as I was saying, essentially this is going to be a flying type. Monotype, and that's going to make it pretty difficult, I'd have thought, just because flying types have notoriously bad, well, have pretty bad setups in terms of movesets in this in these early gens. What was he? Yeah, okay, so I was just having a look, essentially just to see if there's anything new. It doesn't look like any of the text has really been changed at all. Just going to check. No. Okay. It doesn't look like the text has been changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute this just for the moment and continue to talk about what's going on. It talks about this wild Pikachu, and obviously... so this is the start, actually, of... this is how... So, what was it for this? So, this is the start of Pokemon Yellow. Again, sorry for the in and outs. Essentially, I don't know how many of you guys know, but obviously Pokemon Yellow was released after Pokemon Red and Blue, and it was slightly different. It was more inspired by the anime, you know, Ash having his Pikachu and stuff like this. You go to, so essentially Professor Oak asks you to take this, and then Sparky, or your rival, will come across and snatch that Pokemon away from you. And instead you get the Pikachu that he just caught earlier. And we won't give a name to Pikachu because, as I said, we're doing a flying type, so flying types Pikachu is not. So we're going to have our first battle, and it's probably going to be similar to the usual set of use lots of Thunder Shock. Tail Whip is doing damage, so evidently they've changed something. And okay, so he's got a crit hit to take out my Pikachu. Sad times. Yeah, am I great or what? I suppose it's good to actually see the loss there, just to see a difference. That might actually change, it's odd, but so here's that your Pikachu dislikes Pokeballs. If you just keep it with you, that should make it happy. You can now talk to it and see how it feels about you. So if you turn to face him, and he'll make a sound, and that means he's angry at me, essentially. I think it's probably because we lost the battle. So yeah, so essentially, yeah, flying type, monotype. I said, you know, that the whole idea of this was essentially to mess around and I know I said before that I wasn't going to try and use the same Pokemon at the same time, and normally, so therefore that would mean, you know, I'd love to be able to use a Charizard, for example, in this run, but I've already used Charmander, which means I probably won't actually use Charizard in this run. Okay, so there's no new stuff, essentially. But you can see there's wild Ekans in the grass, which is different to the original games, so first difference, aside from Tail Whip doing damage and stuff like that. But yeah, so, once again, going back to what I was saying, yeah, I don't want to use the same Pokemon over and over again, so I don't want to use Charizard in this playthrough. Now, I think I said earlier that I wasn't planning on using the same types, so like, I didn't use any water types in my first playthrough of Blue because I knew I was going to do a water monotype later. Now, the reason that I did use Charizard, because obviously if I wanted to do a flying type playthrough I shouldn't have used Charizard, the reason I used Charizard was because essentially, I thought I was going to do a poison type monotype, but instead I've ended up doing a flying type. So again, we're just sort of zipping through all this. So yeah, I decided to do a flying type instead of doing a poison type, and that sort of screwed up everything in the sense of everything I'd set up beforehand, which is obviously a bit annoying. In that sense, but nonetheless, it's pretty, you know, so it does limit my choices. I mean, I can't, for example, use Butterfree as well, which will certainly limit the moves that I can use. But nonetheless, we're going to go to this, we're going to obviously hand everything back, and I'm going to try and give it a go on this flying type. It could actually be relatively difficult, just as I've said before, because of the real poor move sets that are actually really available for these Pokemon. But we're going to see. So you can see that you know, you've got the obvious change from the previous games, which is that you know, you've got Pikachu following you around. You've got the obvious, but nothing else has really changed. You've got the various changes at the start, but they're not too, you know, they're not too different. And really, we're just going to make our way back, because what I think we want to be able to do, obviously on a flying type, no flying type playthrough would be fit without your low level flying type from early on in the game, and that is certainly. I won't need too many Pokeballs, hopefully. I'm going to buy 5 of them. And we'll go back, and I'm going to try and catch a Pidgey, because go for it. Yeah, okay. Very docile if attacked. It will often kick up and protect itself rather than fight. Okay, so I won't give it a nickname just for the moment. Let's see, I should move Pidgey to the front, hopefully. Nope, I'm too slow. I'm going to faint. That's okay. So we're going to go, and now. So yeah, so you can see obviously the big difference is obviously Pikachu following you around is a big difference, the ability to turn around and then sort of talk to them. As you can see, he's still not particularly happy with me. He's certainly not going to be happy if this is possible. There we go. Put him in box 1. There's a reason for that. So now we're going to try and see what we can do for Pidgey. Obviously, Pidgey won't start off with a great moveset, so we just want to do as much as we can. There we go. First defeat. Looks like it's going to be lots of going to have to grind a fair bit of levels for Pidgey. That's okay. So yeah, I mean, hopefully this is going to be a challenging but fun playthrough. This is not going well. I'm going to black out, that's fine, I really don't care at the moment. I don't think I've blacked out before actually, have I? No. Oh no, I've lost before, so yeah, that counts as blacking out. So obviously when you're, just battling against Pidgey who are the same level as you, you're just going to keep on. But these are the trials of an early level trainer, and got to think like a young Ash Ketchum. If you've caught this Pokemon, you want to help it on its way, and it's going to take me out, isn't it? I thought I would get a bit faster, but evidently I shouldn't need to go back in. So yeah, I'm gonna obviously maybe I should go north and actually go reach the forest where actually I'll start, being actually higher levels. For some reason I am slower than every other Pidgey, it seems. Pick the slowest Pidgey of them all. And I'm gonna get taken out again because he was doing 5 and I was doing 4. Okay, let's see. He's going to show me how to catch Pokemon. We really don't care because we've seen all this. Anyway, we're going to keep moving up. Weedle, there we go. Pokemon that I'll be super. Is Gust still a normal type attack? Oh, screw that. Don't poison me, that's really mean. So I've got to level 4. I like how if my Pokemon faints of poison, I black out as well. Yeah, this is not going well, but I didn't really expect it to. There we go. Come on, my level 4 Pidgey. Show this level 3 Pidgey what it's... There we go, level 5 and Sand Attack. Come on, there we go. So we're getting a little bit more experience now. Probably just try and get him up to level 10ish. See what that will do for him. Just to start off with, level 6 Ekans is actually relatively high level. Stop lowering my defense and stop using Wrap. Come on, please stop. Bye bye. There's Wrap again, but I'm faster than him this time because he's much lower level. And there we go, level 6. Come on, let's take out this level 4. Yeah, let's get the crit. So I'm sure you realised from my previous playthroughs that if I am planning on trying not to reuse Pokemon, that I've obviously got very much limited my choices. I cannot use Charizard, I cannot use Butterfree, and I cannot use Fearow, because I used that in my Pokemon Brown playthrough, and for those, seeing as this is a straight Gen 1 hack, and not like, not akin to the Brown, in which case, you obviously saw later Gen Pokemon as well in it. Nope. Unfortunately, it's just Gen 1, so I'll only have to have the Gen 1 Pokemon, and for that reason, there's going to be quite a bit of sort of rushing around, and I'm probably going to speed through quite a few areas before I actually, would normally leave them. As in, like, I'll probably try and get to Fuchsia City as fast as possible, for 2 reasons. One, the ability to catch Dratini, because obviously we're going to level up our Dratini and try and get to Dragonite, which would be pretty cool. I haven't used a Dragonite ever before, so that will be hopefully quite awesome. And but not only trying to catch a Dratini, but also we got to go all the way back there. Once we get cut, we'll have to get cut, get the Amber, and then resurrect our Aerodactyl, which will also become a decent member of our team. And but obviously all of that requires a fair amount of swift work at the early stages of the game to try and fair amount of you know, quick work to try and get to that point early on in the game, which is going to be interesting. Unfortunately, there are no running shoes as they're wearing brown, which means that yes, I will be racing through much of this. My level 10 Pidgey. I'm going to go down here and see if the rival battle's still down here, and also see if I can catch any new Pokemon. Well, Mankey will have the type advantage, but that means nothing at the moment. It seems I'm only using normal type attacks. It's only once I get an actual So, and like I've said before, I haven't played this specific hack before. So again, it's a relative trip into the unknown. It's disappointing to see Pidgey on routes, you know, the early routes. You kind of, I don't know, maybe you could like sort of put the less interesting Pokemon in the more annoying places like the Safari Zone or something. Maybe that's just like a blind hope. But yeah, no, we'll just continue doing these battles just to start off with. Okay, I'm happy with that little area. Do I think my Pidgey can stand up to Sparky's Pokemon? Probably not at the moment. Can't buy anything because obviously I've fainted so many times, so that's okay. If I remember correctly though, maybe I can get an antidote here? Potion, there we go. Maybe that'll be what we need. We'll go up here and we'll see what's around in this area. So we've got Wild Oddish. Obviously, can't use Oddish. Hopefully the other thing that you've also all noticed so far is that obviously this is a Game Boy Color ROM. And so rather than the rather depressing monochrome of well, not I wouldn't say depressing, sort of the old school monochrome of Pokemon Blue, and then certainly Pokemon Brown, which I think was purely because I was patching it onto a Game Boy, just a Game Boy ROM as opposed to a Game Boy Color. Well, when I patched my Pokemon Brown to it, but yeah, so you know, but you've already seen the colours change slightly from different cities, and yeah, I think the first time I saw that was pretty cool. I sort of you hear about like Lavender Town, and you want to see that it's actually lavender in colour, and you get that in this app, which is quite nice. Let's just keep going. I'm up to level 12. Let's get to the. Again, just looks like basic, boring, Pidgey, Weedle, stuff like that. Pidgey's up to level 13. Okay, let's try and take on our rival now. You know, the early level game. I can't remember what the requisite things I need to do are for the rival's Eevee to evolve in different ways, because I know that it sort of depends how the various battles you have with him go. So I think like one of them, like if you lose one of them and you win the other two, you might get like Flareon or something like that. So this guy is obviously, and he's got a level 9 Spearow, so quick attack, and quick attack there, and quick attack, and quick attack, and quick attack, and that was easy, nice and easy. Oh, you just looked up. I heard about a singing Pokemon around here, but I can't find one anywhere. So that's implying that there are Jigglypuff at some point around here, which is obviously something different. But obviously some of the text and the dialogue has been changed, but it seems like it's so little of the overall experience that it's actually, you know, it'd be pretty arduous to actually talk to every single person and, you know, work out what they have to say, see if it's different to what it was first time. I don't. This isn't a hack, you know, on the same scale as certainly not as the same scale as Brown, but I might not even be on the same scale as Proud Eyes, as far as I know. Although, to be honest, Proud Eyes didn't really change much in that sense either. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I did win the battle, so I'm going to pick up a potion. We'll head now towards, we'll try and see how far through the Viridian Forest we can get. Not Vermilion. Always get those two confused in the early stages. These games, okay. Let's just see, yeah. An antidote in that tree, which I think I got first time around. Yeah, okay. So there are now Pidgey inside the forest as well. I don't think they were there before. We have wild Caterpie, and I'd love to be able to catch one, but unfortunately that won't be the case. Another Caterpie. Metapod. Still only got Hardened, so still nothing to really worry about. Hi, do you have a Pikachu? No, I don't, so unfortunately, well I do, but I don't have it on me. So obviously the actual, like, you know, oh no, really? I looked forever, but I never found a Pikachu thing. So yeah, so that's obviously a reference, you know, in the first games you can catch Pikachu in Viridian Forest. So obviously there's some, but again I'm not sure if that's a yellow thing, because a lot of things, well, a relatively large amount of things did change between blue and red, and then yellow, so it could well be that a lot of the differences that, you know, that are pointed at least I see, or I believe are differences, are just stuff that was actually in the original yellow and not actually in, and just not in red and blue. That's okay by me though, so we'll just keep going around and keep taking out these Pokemon. I'm sure I'll get several levels over the course of this. Maybe I'll evolve into Pidgeotto. Should be pretty soon, I think. For 16, you, hey. So again, I don't know how much this will vary from the original Pokemon Yellow, but I never did a playthrough of that on my channel, so it's, you know, well worth doing. It's something different, something relatively new. Still Gen 1. Okay. So now I'm way over leveled, really. But that's okay. Okay. There. I do hope Pidgeotto does learn a flying move eventually. Otherwise that could be pretty awkward. Although obviously we will get the TM fly, and I'll do that as early as possible. And that will obviously give most of my Pokemon a decent same type attack boost move. Although saying that, there are a fair number of, you know, there are so many infamous cases where Pokemon with wings can't fly. So Charizard being the famous case, but you know, stuff like what else can't fly? No, I can't think of many off the top of my head, but I know that there are a fair few of sort of Pokemon you'd certainly expect to be able to fly. I'm going to be the best, you just can't beat me, because this guy's new, I think. So we'll just keep battling away. Try and get to change it to the end before the end of the 30 minutes. And Metapod is cool because its attack is its defense. So I'm running low on PP, so I might start. That's the issue when you start getting into. Yeah, no point taking on that level 8 Pidgey. So just gonna make my way to the end. I've got limited PP, so there's no point. Yeah, like that. Potion. So here we go. Final one. Got level 10 Caterpie. Use quick attack. A couple of times. Take it out. Thank you. You're good at. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, we know what these guys have to say. Obviously, there are a few unique cases in this. If you remember, because this is largely meant to correspond quite a bit with the anime. And Pidgey has evolved into Pidgeotto, so we have a Pidgeotto on our team. And here we have arrived into the greys and blues of Pewter City, which is a nice start to our playthrough, I would say. Although obviously Brock is going to be actually Brock's going to be a challenge. There's a like a lot of this I do recognise, but you know, you've obviously got the fossil, and this is the guy who stops you from progressing unless you take on Brock, and obviously I think all I'm going to have is a Pidgeotto, which is going to make it tough, pretty much. So if they have any rock type moves, then I am going to be in a fair amount of trouble. Yeah, okay, so yeah, a lot of this stuff is sort of stuff that we know. Just checking this. I'm taking the potion. Okay, so I think we're running low on time, and I don't particularly feel like battling Brock just yet. I'd rather be towards a level, at least level 20, just to sort of just be safe. Obviously, you know, it's not going to matter too much because obviously fainting at this stage of the game is not something that I'm deeming irreversible, and it's obviously the getting to the Elite Four and then challenging them if I fail. In my Elite Four challenge, then the whole then the Monotype is a failure. But we shall see. So I'm just gonna sort of hang around here. I might let's do the trainer battle. Let's see the first trainer. Let's see what he's like. We've got a little tiny bit of time left, so you'll be the same. Yeah. Let's see what you have to say. Stop right there, kid. You're still light years from facing Brock. This guy usually's got... Okay, so he's got Diglett, so actually he hasn't got the rock types. And he's got a Sandshrew, okay. So it's not shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so up to level 19. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to leave it here, because I think this is a nice point to leave it. So, join me on the next episode where we're going to take on the gym battle at the Pewter City Gym. I'll see you then.